everyone, and welcome back to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Happy Friday, everyone. We made it to the weekend. I say this every week, not that I'm working for the weekend or just putting all my energy just to get to the weekend, but I do love weekends because it allows me to, because it allows me to get chores done, which I like to feel organized and put together. And it allows me to spend time with my family, and allows me to get content done, like recording these podcasts and videos, and, just relaxing and being able to kind of be a couch potato just a little bit. So I love weekends. I hope that you love weekends. I know that not everyone's weekend starts on Friday, but if it does, happy weekend. And if it's coming soon, again, happy weekend. Just a reminder that this week we are talking about your human rights. The rights that we all have as human beings, the rights that we all have to be who we are, grow, change, learn, not be responsible for other people, just those rights that we may forget that we have. And I just want to kind of dive into those and just remind you that you have the right to be a human. Everyone does, and have those rights to make those decisions for yourself and be your own person. So today, Friday, we are ending the week by talking about how you have the right to ask for what you want. And I wanted to have this one end the week because it's an important one. And it's one, they're all important, but it's one that I found to be, I didn't write as many notes about it, but it's really important and it's tough for people. And I think I put it last because it's also the toughest one for me personally, to ask for what you want. I feel like it's hard for a lot of people. And I thought it would be something really great for you to think about over the weekend, if you want to, and figure out how to incorporate it in your own life if you, like me, are having difficulty with it. So let's just jump right in. You have the right to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for the things you want and you need. I know that makes it sound super simple, very like, okay, sure, Sabrina, I'll just go ahead and do that. But you don't be afraid to ask for the things that you want and need, because we all have wants and we all have needs, and we better be out there asking for the things that we actually need. Like if we need encouragement, we need comfort, we need medical help, we need mental health help. Do we need help finding a place to live? Do we need help finding work? Those are things that we actually need. And then there's things we want. And I know that people can go back and forth on whether the things that we want are actually important or not. Should we actually highlight those? I think so, because a lot of our wants are things that can bring us joy and comfort, and not necessarily lavish things that cost so much money, but just things that just help our life, feel a little better. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Especially if you have the means to do so, if it does cost a little bit more than typical things. No one should have their request denied because of who they are and what you choose to do in your life. So, with all human rights, you should be able to request whatever you need, especially your needs, but whatever you want, especially within reason. I would say if they're like ridiculous requests that are inappropriate or just not positive things, things that will hurt other people, okay, yeah, those definitely should be denied. But just in general, you shouldn't have your request denied because of who you are and what you're all about. That isn't fair. And I know life isn't fair, but we should all be on that equal playing field where we're all able to make those requests despite who we are, what class we are, what skin color we are, what we do in life, who we're with, anything like that, what age we are. It should absolutely not matter. And sometimes we may think what we are asking for is too much, when really it can sometimes still not be enough. That's like one of the biggest problems in my life, where I always thought that what I was asking for would be the biggest to do. And especially with certain people in my life, where I feel like if I asked them even for the smallest thing that would seem small to a lot of people, but it would seem like a really big inconvenience to them, you still need to push forward and ask for those things. I've gotten better about that with certain people in my life, because it's a lot of people in my life other people will tell me it's not that big of a deal, and really they're just denying your request, or they're acting like it's such a big deal because it's inconveniencing them, only in the slightest, but it's because they might feel jealousy that you are actually have the courage to ask for that thing, or they might feel like upset that you would even want to have them use their time to do that, which is super selfish again, and you might want to rethink that relationship if that's the issue. Or they have some other sort of things going on in their mind that they and their whole mental health issues that they need to deal with, that it's just hard to wrap their brain around, like how you have the courage to ask, and maybe they don't have the courage to ask for those same things. Do you know what I mean? There could be so many different reasons, but we need to remember that, you might ask someone to help you do something really quick, and they're like, wow, how could you have the audacity to ask me to do that or help you with that? And they might also just be harboring some negative feelings where other people in their lives might never help them when they ask for help, and so they're just bitter about that. But they shouldn't be holding that against you or projecting that bitterness on you because of their own personal problems that they need to take care of that they refuse to, which is why they're holding on to bitterness. So don't think that anything you're asking for, unless it is like, hey, you're gonna just waltz up to someone and ask them to buy you a car, and that seems kind of unreasonable in the situation and the relationship that you have with that person. But I would say that a lot of things that we ask for from others is not too big, and maybe sometimes not big enough, because we should be asking for more. Do not listen to anyone that tells you you don't deserve the things you are seeking and asking for, because how do they even know? Like, how do they even know that you're worthy of those things? Like, they don't. And that is not their decision to make, really, unless you're in some sort of weird relationship where that system has already been decided. I don't know how that would work, but, don't listen to anyone that tells you you don't deserve it. I've had people in my life tell me that I don't deserve to be happy. I don't deserve to had found the love of my life. I don't deserve to have the life that I have. And those things aren't true, because they are just passing judgment on you, and they don't have any right to do that at all. And no one has the right to do that to anyone, because it's not their job. God's job is the one to judge us, and other people in life need to step back and stop doing that. And that even speaking to me, because sometimes I find myself judging people and not realizing that I was, I'm doing it in this like weird passive aggressive way, and it's not appropriate, So don't listen to anyone that tells you that you are not worthy of whatever you're trying to seek in your life, because they don't know. Even if they know you super well, they don't know what your worth is. Like, they don't know that. There's just no reason that they should say that to you. And if they are, you need to tell them that they are wrong. We're all worthy to seek the things that we want that are in our hearts and our minds. And whether we get them or not is a totally different thing. But you can't tell someone that they aren't worthy to try, because at least they're trying, We all have needs, and if we don't ask for what we want and need, we'll go without, And we need to be the person that's like stepping up for ourselves, figuring out what we want and need, asking for it, and not just suffering without those things that we actually need, or being sad without the things that we actually want, because that's a waste. That's a waste of emotions. Like, we should be out there trying to get the things that we want, and, finding a way to get the things that we actually need. And it's not likely someone else will do this for you. I did talk about earlier in the week how it's super unhealthy to take responsibility for other people's problems, emotions, happiness. And so maybe there's someone in your life that will try to do it for you and get you those things that you want and you need, but it shouldn't be their responsibility, And likely that isn't the case for you, so you need to step up for yourself and do it for yourself, because it'll make you feel even more proud and stronger in your mind. You'll have a greater mindset, and you'll just feel more accomplished and a better, stronger drive to do it even more and really just serve yourself. So I really hope that helps. That's the end of today and the week. I really enjoyed talking about human rights this week. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. It just depends. It's usually dependent on when I write my notes and how passionate I feel about whatever topic I am researching. So we'll see. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope that it's absolutely awesome. My weekend's going to be pretty busy because my daughter's show opens today, so that's going to be great. But I hope that whatever you're doing, you're going to thoroughly enjoy it. If you're not doing anything, you're just relaxing, that's amazing too. I hope that you enjoy that. I'm going to go, but I hope you have a good one. Again, happy Friday. Thanks for joining me. If you have any notes or comments on changing the format to be a little bit longer or seeing these videos posted on YouTube now as opposed to IGTV, just let me know. And if you need any other additional encouragement, please feel free to visit my Instagram page, RealPositiveGirl, where I post daily quotes and I just try to be uplifting like I do here for the podcast. So have a good one. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.